We are live. We are live. I mean, my name is Stephen Harris because I we are those who are who considering. I mean, waiting on me because, and I either much have a very very announcement to either much make to talk about WWE Friday Night SmackDown, to talk about AEW Ramp, AEW Dynamite. I mean, like, it was a very show because to me when Keith Lee either much made his debut, because I mean much like with Keith Lee, I'm glad that AEW had picked up Keith Lee from AWP. Look, Keith Lee he has the athleticism, he has the strength. Keith Lee either much have the big muscle because with Tony Khan either much taken Triple H everything he did with him. You build him up against a Cameron Grimes, Damian Priest, Roderick Strong, Calio O'Reilly. You build him up against Dominic Dijakovic down there in NXT. You build him up against Jonathan Grimes. You build him up against and Keith Lee winning the North American Championship. You build up Keith Lee, and then AEW ended up building up Keith. I mean, with ever since they end up bought, they had ended up bought Keith Lee up to the WWE main roster, and they just changed his gimmick and put him in that stupid back hat of Keith Lee. Look, WWE just should have ended up making Keith Lee a contender, because you could have had him build it up against a Adam build it up against a Roman Reigns, a Seth Rollins, a Big E, Kobe Kingston, a Drew McIntyre, a Bobby Ashley, a Brock Lesnar. You could have had him build up against a Kevin Owens. You could have either much had him build up against a Sami Zayn. You could have had him build up against a Shinsuke Nakamura, because and you know that Vince McMahon did not even much see no potential or building up Keith Lee is a top star in the company. And look, between with Bruce Picture, look, Bruce Picture don't know what the hell he doing. He ended up missing on that step. I mean, dude, you done fired 70,000. I mean, 2,000 people who had worked it off into your company. Then you turn around and got rid of Hit Roll. You could have gave. Look, I already know Ashanti Adonis. He is athletic. He has a skill set. He's one hell of an athleticism. He's a flyer in up outside the ring. You see, he's something like similar to Kofi Kingston. But if you really had to do is and if you either much like I say, if you really either much really had to do Kofi Kingston and Isaiah Swerve, I would have been fine with that. Because we know that B Fab can't even much wrestle in the ring. But she's very good on the microphone. Look, I like to be fair because WWE, though, you don't need her in the ring with a Charlotte. You don't need her in the ring with a Sasha Banks or Bianca. You don't need her in the ring against a Naomi, who is very good. You don't need her in the ring against a Xylee. You put a B Fab in a ring against a Xylee, though, she probably would get killed if you put B Fab in a ring with her. Because the way how I'm seeing that though with B Fab though, WWE, that's what it kept it Hit Row on a roster because they could have got a shot at the WWE title opportunity. B Fab could have got a shot at the WWE title. I'm sorry. I mean, Hit Row, Isaiah Swerve, and Shanti Adonis could have got a shot at the Usos for the WWE Tag Team or Women's Tag Team Championships over there on SmackDown because they needed fresh blood in that tag team division over there on SmackDown. They needed to because you all you got is the Viking Raiders over there on Friday night SmackDown, and WWE is not doing nothing with them, not doing nothing with them, and they just the way how they in WWE the way how they either much doing the Viking Raiders dirty over there on SmackDown. And then, like I had said, that they will be facing the Usos coming up next week at the WWE Elimination Chamber, and you already know that WWE they is not gonna let the Viking Raiders win at the Elimination Chamber. The Usos is going to retain their title at the WWE Elimination Chamber, and they are gonna let them go on and move on, and probably the New Day will be getting another tag team title shot at WrestleMania again because I said, dude, with WWE, ever since they had that WWE championship, they put the belt on the Usos. I'm sorry. I mean, they put the WWE Championship on Big E. You could have WWE creators end up failing Keith Lee as a babyface. All you had Big E won the money in the briefcase. He cashed it in on Bobby Ashley and took the WWE Championship off of him. You could have built him up as a you could have had built Big E up against either much. If you would have kept the Keith Lee around, you could have built him up against the Keith Lee, a Karen Cross, a Damian Priest. You could have built him up against a Seth Rollins. You could have built him up against a who else they got over there against a Mustafa Ali? They now he's gone. They released him from the company. You could have had builded Big E up against a I mean Austin Theory. He beat him. But I'm talking about the way how WWE they did Big E dirty because if Roman Reigns though didn't either much had to leave the due to COVID. And then they added WWE just switched the ship and added Brock Lesnar to their figure five-way match, Kevin Owens, Bobby Ashley, Seth Rollins, um Brock Lesnar and Big E, and WWE ends up taking the WWE Championship off of Brock Lesnar. But I said, let me tell you something right now. WWE don't care about Big E. They just really don't, and he probably won't even much have another title shot opportunity to either much get a WWE Championship title picture to get a title run. And WWE done moved him from over there from Raw and put him over there on Friday Night SmackDown. He probably don't even much want to have nothing to do with that WWE title shot no more because Vince McMahon he already done killed the momentum because he's such a evil, conniving, sorry creator, WWE creator. Ain't trying to build up new WWE superstars in the company. Then you go back to Charlotte back and forth. Every time I see Charlotte, she always winning. She is not trying to elevate nobody in the women's division. She is not. She just ain't trying to do. We see her go back to Naomi back and forward. Her the same thing on Friday Night SmackDown. And then look, if Naomi, I am such a Naomi fan. Naomi is just a very athleticism. She just can work her ass off in the ring and outside the ring, inside the ring, and she's very good of cutting a promo. She might be not that skill on the microphone, but Naomi though, I would have WWE should have did something like Kofi Kingston, like they build him up against the Samoan Joes, the Daniel Bryan, the Samoan Joes, the Randy Orton. They build him up against the Kevin Owens. They build a Kofi Kingston 6 months after he won that championship at WrestleMania 35. WWE, they need to do something with Naomi like that and put the machine behind her. But now WWE, they don't want to do that. WWE ain't don't want to put the machine behind Naomi because you are and we all know that Naomi was not gonna win that SmackDown Women's Championship in New Orleans because the fans they was right behind her. They were cheering Naomi because you know WWE is gonna keep the WWE title on SmackDown when she drop it to Ronda Rousey coming up. And we all know that she is gonna drop that belt to Ronda Rousey coming up on Friday night SmackDown. And now here come WWE coming up next week. You got Ronda Rousey teaming up with Naomi, and then you either much got her taking on Sonya Deville. Look, to me, I just can't stand the Sonya Deville the way how she either much are bruising her power week after week on SmackDown, and she shouldn't have no business putting her hands on none of these talent, interfering in matches, costing Naomi where she ain't got no business. Look, you a manager, you supposed to be booking matches, not that that's to abuse your power. Look, she don't give a okay. She don't give a fuck because she is gonna keep on continue to humiliate Naomi. She is gonna keep on continue to abuse Naomi. She's gonna keep on continue to pick at Naomi. That's what she's gonna continue to do. So over here with this company, that I mean, like 10 or 15 years down the road that when Charlotte and Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, I mean, and Sasha Banks gonna be, she 30 years old, she probably gonna be in the company for the next 10 years. She probably gonna be in the company. When Charlotte retired from WWE, she gonna get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and you know she would come back and put over young talent in the WWE. Because I didn't want to see somebody who come to the main roster, whether you bring Raquel to the main roster, whether you bring Dominic Dakota to the main roster, whether you bring Look, you know they probably gonna bring Mandy Rose back to the main roster when she dropped that NXT Women's Championship, and then you can have look. Mandy Rose can work against Asuka. We seen her time before. She can work with a Naomi and a Becky Lynch. She can work with a Bailey and a Lacey Evans. They don't mean because you always because you won an NXT championship with her from Dakota to Kai because you can't beat Raquel Gonzalez on your own without help. Look, you is dude, she's a heel, okay? You know Gigi Dolan will end up getting involved, helping Mandy Rose retain her WWE championship. But when she get to the main roster, it's different. You got to prove that. Look, Mandy Rose that probably would never main event WrestleMania if they brought her back to the main roster because she just a overrated wrestler in the WWE. That's what she is, a overrated wrestler in the WWE. So I don't care if you want to put her against an Oscar and a Becky Lynch against a Bailey, a Lacey Evans, and a Sasha Banks and a Bianca Belair, who is one hell of a wrestler. She's one of my favorites on the roster, on the main roster. But let me tell you something right now: that she can't beat them by herself. She just can't, either much without cheating. And so let me read this. Oh, first, let me talk. Let's get into SmackDown. I would do AEW. So this WWE SmackDown features Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown title against Naomi Willis, Roman Reigns, and Goldberg to continue the rivalry. And the SmackDown was a night with back-to-back shows for the fans in New Orleans. The reason for that is because the next week SmackDown is on February 18th, which is one day before Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia, Saturday, February 19th. So WWE decided to take it a week in advance. Is making sense seeing it's a likely trip to Saudi Arabia for the wrestlers not going to Saudi Arabia. They are got a couple of weeks off, which is nice for them. As for me, and I am extremely excited about my Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. My score prediction is 38-20 for the Rams, I think. Yeah, the Super Bowl is tomorrow. So, what are y'all in the chat are planning for the Super Bowl is for tomorrow? Dude, like the comic. If you subscribe, if you a new subscriber to my channel, just put the likes up and subscribe. So I think the biggest game to jump out to a big lead, they Bengals might make it close in the score half. Where I bet and then the Rams pull away. I think the biggest bad O lineman is going to hurt them a lot. So the Bengals offense will struggle at times due to the Rams impossible pass rush leaded by Aaron O'Donnell, Vaughn Miller, and Leonard Fournette. Leonard Floyd, where they pass defensively behind them is pretty good too for MVP. Go with Matthew Stafford throwing 3 touchdowns, but Cooper Cup might win because I think he's go for about 150 yards and 2 TDs. They Bengals are a nice story if it would wish against my team, maybe them. I just think the Rams are better, especially on defense, and defense win championship. I also predict I will be recurious hammered on Sunday night. I a good move for a long time. That's my favorite team in my favorite sports with over 35 years fandom. Let's go Rams. So from the Smooth King City in New Orleans, Louisiana, and SmackDown for episode of 11173. And so the opener video package features highlights of SmackDown last week when Ronda Rousey told SmackDown women Charlotte and Flair that Ronda is choosing to face Charlotte at WrestleMania. I see you at WrestleMania, bitch. Charlotte told Ronda this title is her baby and she is pretty. Then Ronda, baby. Sonya Deville got involved, so Charlotte expect where Ronda apply a arm bar to Deville. You know what, Sonya Deville, she got exactly what her ass deserved for jumping on Ronda Rousey. Baby, look, Ronda Rousey is not the one to be played with. So, and you know, if Ronda Rousey win that title, she better take that belt off of Charlotte because coming up at WrestleMania Backlash, and I'll see WWE doing a title match that you either much have Sasha Banks is gonna get involved into this triple thread match, and then Ronda Rousey don't have to get pinned. She don't either much have to get submission. And you all know Ronda Rousey is not tapping out. Then you have Charlotte ends up taking a pin from Sasha. Then Sasha takes the SmackDown Women's Championship off of Ronda Rousey, and then she do who's the challenger over there who can challenge Sasha Banks? Because you got Xia Li, you got Aaliyah need to get a title shot, Naomi can get another title shot. Anytime when WWE just put her in this title shot, then she comes up short, losing, and then you have Natalia who not gonna win WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Then you have either much look, WWE just don't have enough women's roster ain't big enough on SmackDown. It's just not. And either much so you know the commentary team of Michael Cole and Corey Graves welcome us to the show. Corey was filling in for Pat McAfee, who is at the Super Bowl doing the YouTube shows there all week. So Sonya Deville was in the ring with a silent on her left arm. Sonya said she had to act normally. They unproved attack by Ronda Rousey. Sonya said the people like Ronda and Naomi have no respect for the authority. And Sonya said she don't care who is was because there will be consequences for her actions. Sonya claims that she appointee upper management that Rousey been fined $100,000 effectively meter Rousey should be suspended indefinitely. And Adam Pearce, the other WWE official, said he had an email from WWE chairman Vince McMahon responded to Sonya pretending Ben's email said that Sonya had taken matters into her own hands and abusing her power. Ben's claimed he couldn't stand in WWE offers, abusing the power and answering and lying coming from him. Well, Vince declared Sonya pretended to suspend Rousey. Vince said that Sonya cannot lay her hands on Naomi in any way tonight, especially during Naomi title match against Charlotte Flair. And Pierce Reed Vince saying that if Sonya disobey her, then Sonya jaw will be in serious jeopardy. Naomi walking down to the ring for a promo. Naomi got in the ring with Sonya, not that McMahon said that Sonya can't lay a hand on Naomi, but he never said anything about Naomi lay about hand on Sonya. Naomi slapping Sonya in the face to knock Sonya on her ass. Naomi left it happy. And I thought they might fire Sonya as a WWE official and say she just a wrestler now, but they didn't go that far with Naomi slapping Sonya to knock her on her ass with a feeling good moment since Sonya has had issues with Naomi for a long time. Anyway, it didn't drag on too long. It was fine. Because listen to this.
I don't care if you're Ronda Rousey. I don't care if you're Naomi or any other superstar on the roster. There will be consequences for your actions. With that being said, earlier today I petitioned upper management that Ronda Rousey be fined $100,000 and effective immediately, she'd be suspended indefinitely.
Sonia, hold on just a second.
Excuse me?
I realize you're not checking your email as you're in the ring, but upper management has responded to your petition, and this email comes from the chairman of the board himself, Mr. McMahon. And it reads, Sonia, it has come to my attention that you've been taking matters into your own hands and abusing your power. If there is one thing I can't stand, it is a WWE official who abuses their power. So now, I will exercise some of mine. Your petition to fine and suspend Ronda Rousey is declined. There's more. As for your inappropriate treatment of Naomi, you must face the consequences of your actions. You are not to lay a hand on Naomi in any way tonight, especially as it pertains to the championship match with Charlotte Flair. And it concludes, if you disobey me, your job will be in serious jeopardy.
What's the matter, Sonia? You never got ripped a new one by your boss before? You know, the funny thing is, Mr. McMahon said you can't lay a hand on me. But he never said I can't lay a hand on you.
Mhm. And you know what? They probably would do a match against Naomi.
Grubhub delivers convenience items.
Grubhub delivers convenience items?
I mean against Naomi and Sonya Deville and Sasha Banks. I mean Sonya Deville and Naomi at WrestleMania. I think WWE they just gonna drag that out. And we get a repeat was showing off the New Day beat the Los Luchadors, the Big E and Kobe Kingston made things. They are in action against the Los Luchadors. Again, WWE loves rematches. And so a video as about Bobby Lashley defending the WWE champion against Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and AJ Styles and Austin Theory. And then you either must have the Elimination Chamber on February the 19th. So the Luchadors did a quick interview with Kayla Braxton backstage. They talked about how they are a fantasy competition in Leap Lovers, sure. And WWE, the Luchadors made their entrance. They found a pretty woman in the side for a kiss cam, saying the women was activities. Shocked the guys kissing her on the cheek. So the New Day, Big E, and Kobe Kingston versus the Luchadors. They had a really good match last week, so here we go. Angel tried to wrist like but Big E easy power out of it. Kobe tags in with a limp over Biggie, leading to a leg drop on Angel Humberto, taping him with a forearm to the back. Kobe tapping him up with a forearm where on the apron and a Biggie tagging in with a running splash on the apron again, charging Kofi, sending him out of the ring. Kofi ran the ropes, but Biggie lunges him, and Biggie landed on top of both luchadors on the floor with a standing cross body attack. The went to break here. So the match returns with Angel hitting Biggie with a springboard with doing the break, leading to a choke lock after Biggie break free. Angel pulls out the pins to reveal the tights, and then Biggie come back with a belly to belly slide, slamming Kofi. Got the tag against Humberto with a chop of the top, then a drop kick and a clothesline. Kobe and Angel out of the ring, followed by a broom drop, double leg drop on Humberto. Kobe went for the kick. Humberto ducked it in, got a roll up for a 2 count. Kobe with a jump kick to the head. Big E tags in. Angel with went after Kobe on the apron, so Kobe did a hurricane to Angel into the barricade. Kobe kicked Humberto. Biggie held Humberto in a power bomb position, and Kobe jumped off the top with a double foot stomp into a power bomb for 2 because Angel made the save, a backstab to Biggie, sending Biggie out of the ring. Angel jumped it off the middle rope onto a standing Biggie on the floor. Humberto hit an impressive moonsault off the top onto Kobe in the ring for a 2 good near fall. And right there, Kobe board a double team attack, leading to a double in a trouble in paradise on Kobe. And Angel management to build roll up Kobe and use his body for language, not a roll up or death for the pin to win after 11 minutes. So it was, yeah, because a win by the lost Lucha Angel Humberto. It was a good match as usual for those teams. It was a 50-50 booking once again since the New Day beat the Luchadors last week. So it's no surprise that the New Day lost here. I think maybe we see something chapter for the finish, but it was total clear. I mean, with Angel pinning Kofi, they did a nice job with the nice fails with Kobe getting the double foot stomp off the top for two, and the Humberto moves out as well. Big E will out as the face is parse early when Kobe got that hot tag. The piece really picked it up. It was booked well. I just don't love the 50-50 booking on WWE booking rematches so often on SmackDown. I don't either. I just really don't either. I just really don't. So yeah, I just don't because just really don't. I just really don't give a damn about it. Just really don't. And then we the Montreal have the Viking Warriors were about to be interviewed. However, SmackDown Tag Team Champ, the Usos show up and beat them up. The Usos stones small, smooth some of the Viking Raiders headgear. In the interview with the progressive match flow repeat shows last week. SmackDown with Roman Reigns confirmed by Bill Goldberg is lead to the offer announcement of Roman Reigns defending the Universal Champion versus Bill Goldberg. And so with Roman Reigns interview, Roman Reigns and the Universal Champion was sitting in that chair with Paul Heyman behind him, and Michael Cole was sitting in other chairs for the interview. Cole motivated Goldberg winning 173 matches in WCW. Then he beat Hulk Hogan for the WCW Championship, and Reigns said that was a pretty good. Reigns said if he was in WCW, they still would be in business. Cole motivate Goldberg won the Universal title tweet with Cole noticed Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series in 2016 in 86 seconds. They showed some clips. I was at that match live. Reigns said nobody cares about Brock Lesnar, the former, anymore, and Heyman said he loves Reigns. Reigns and Roman say nobody cares about Goldberg as a former Universal champ because Reigns and their Cole monitoring this. Reigns and Goldberg match was supposed to take place at WrestleMania 2 years ago, and he asked if Roman had added pressure. Roman said the pressure is on Goldberg. Roman said that um 2 years ago. He might have had a choice, but everything he changed in Roman is untouchable. Now Roman said he going to smash Goldberg. Heyman said this is not a partition, is a spoiler. Roman said I am going to Goldberg in interview. This last line meant that he is going to dominate Goldberg and beat him in a dominant manner. I like the interview form because it was a different than a regular backstage interview. Reigns and Heyman were feeling of confirmed this as you might expect. Reigns did have a good point about how it is was 2 years ago. Maybe Goldberg could win, but 2 years ago was before this travel cheap, a heel dominant vision of Reigns said it was a smart line by Reigns. There are debut. Many people think Reigns will lose to Goldberg. Currently, do not think that. I said that. Look, number one, and do Goldberg always come back and do a match where he ready, unless WWE they paying him to do a match, they paying him to do WWE house shows, they paying him to come back to put young talent over. Like you done put Drew McIntyre over at the Royal Rumble. You done end up losing the Bobby Ashley at SummerSlam because WWE was not going to put the WWE Championship over. Then you either much have Bobby Goldberg beat it Bobby Ashley at WWE Saudi Arabia. And then look, to me though, I hope that will be Goldberg last match in the WWE. He don't need to come back and do another match in the company. Because Bill Goldberg is 54 years old. He can't either much barely move in the ring or can't even much walk down the ramp when his music hits. So you see with Vince McMahon though, look, he just a fucking stubborn. He just so fucking stubborn. They're not to use young talent. I mean, because you don't have, number one, you don't have nobody on that main roster who can either much take that WWE Championship off or Roman Reigns. He barely done beat Kevin Owens at WWE TLC at the Royal Rumble. He done beat it ranked Daniel Bryan at the Elimination Chamber. He beat Cesaro at Backlash. Turn around, beat Rey Mysterio. Done turn around and end up beating Edge and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 36. Turn around and beat Edge at Money in the Bank. Beat John Cena at SummerSlam. And then Roman Reigns has that title for 500 and 10 days he have that title air and he has been holding on to it. And Roman Reigns just need to look. We already know that Brock Lesnar facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and then look, he is gonna keep. He is look. I don't. You can tell me however you want to stick a nail into it. Look, Roman Reigns is not losing that WWE Championship at WrestleMania to Brock Lesnar. Maybe Brock Lesnar when he could go away for a little while, and then maybe you had him drop it at WWE SummerSlam if Seth Rollins win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Then you have him cash it in on Roman Reigns and finally take that WWE Universal Championship off of him. Maybe WWE can do that like they did at WrestleMania 31, and they can pull out another shocker. As of right now, Roman Reigns is gonna leave the Elimination Chamber with that WWE Universal Championship because he's a heel. Fans they show didn't like Roman Reigns when he was a babyface, and they show don't like him now as a heel. What you think if the fans don't never give Roman Reigns credit because he kicking ass, he's trying and taking names, and fans they don't never give him credit. They just don't. And and we moving on. So we moving on to this Nether. Now Natalia made her entry. Natalia had the Guinness booking of the world record book with her since she is a three-time world record holding on at last. Is a booking with the as the cover on it in Natalia versus Aaliyah, they said that the match can only be won by a pin or submission. And Natalia side headlocks then she breaks free and hit a shoulder tackle. Aaliyah used the ropes to jump over Natalia, then a limp over Natalia on the mat, and Aaliyah got a sunset flip for two. Natalia with a side kick to the head, falling by a mansion knuckle drive for a 2 count. Aaliyah got a roll up to Aaliyah with the press followed by a punch, and then Aaliyah come back with a bulldog on. Aaliyah applies a single leg crab submission by Natalia, power out of it. Natalia applies the snapshot. Aaliyah got to the ropes. Aaliyah trued it to the bottom rope, and there was no disqualification. So Aaliyah tapped it out. Well, against the ropes, it went about 3 minutes. Look, with Natalia losing, 2 weeks in a row against Aaliyah and WWE, is they trying to push her in? Look, Aaliyah is not that better in the ring. If you put her in the ring against a Xia Li, a Sasha Banks, and a Ronda Rousey, and a Naomi, she is just not that good in the ring. Because WWE don't have no attentions that's pushing Aaliyah. They just really don't. And so with Natalia winning this match, nobody don't give a damn about Natty. WWE don't give a fuck about Natalia. They just really don't. The way how she have been booked for the past 2 weeks on SmackDown. And the same old, same old. But Natalia feeling gets a win after doing the job for Aaliyah on multiple Oscars. I think Aaliyah looking okay, but something she does move where it look like she is not averages each so young. She young and will get better. Hopefully, working with a veteran like Natalia will help Aaliyah so that while they are having a match. And after the match, Natalia stumped Aaliyah and wanted other snapshots, but the protector Xia Li ran out there for the save. Aaliyah with punches and a big knee kick to the body, and Natalia retreated under the bottom rope to the floor. So this set up a Irish match with Natalia factor Xia Li in the future. They could also have Natalia team up with other heels against Xia Li and Aaliyah. Look, I really don't care. I just really don't. Really don't care. So we get a video air about a Black History Month features Rocky Johnson. The video was nearly rent by his son Dwayne the Rocky Johnson. That awesome that the guy rocked to do that Rocky and Tony Atlas becoming the first African American tag team champion. It was a hanger celebration when they won Rocky motivated when he has dad marry his mama. They had Rocky and Rocky winning on the face feather his dad legacy. They show when the Rock induction Rocky Johnson into the WWE Hall of Fame. That was a great speech. Rocky said he wanted to be remembered for previous. They rolled for a all athletic. Rocky thanking your daddy for previous. The way sees you down the road. Rocky tweeted about it as you could see below. Because the Rocky was on Twitter. This one makes a um emotionally, but man, I smile when gross bumps as greater my and proud. My dad, Rocky Soul Man Johnson, was a Tribalist Blaze and becoming the first black tag team champion. And Tony Atlas thanking you, Dad. I will forever be proud of who and what I am. Love you. Yeah, because The Rock will honor his dad coming up. I don't know when they're gonna be having the WWE Hall of Fame. Probably in March at the end of the month before we get into WrestleMania. Probably they was called Rocky and Dad. Rocky Johnson died a few years ago. I think Rocky and Tony Atlas began the first black tag team champ was a very important to the Rocky. You can just see at the clips how excited the wrestlers were, as well as the crowd is awesome that WWE got a Rock to do the voice over for that. So Charlotte was showed backstage with her SmackDown title, moderating that she was the main event and whatever. So Johnny Knoxville was showed earliest in the day at a WWE popular store in Los Angeles. Knoxville was loser on a Sami Zayn photo. Knoxville as a destroyer and Sami Zayn forever shit that is a knockoff of Jackass Forever, which I don't check that out. I really just don't check that out. So right now WWE the company is just a damn joke as about now because y'all don't want to push up no stars, and then you either much want to talk about WWE want to sell a company to Disney, maybe that Vince McMahon step away, then you get rid of Bruce Pickett, John Laurinaitis, and Nick Khan and Kevin Dunn, and then look, long as Vince McMahon is in charge of the company, they ain't going nowhere long as he's there. And then either maybe look, WWE probably would bring in new producers, new WWE director, brand new WWE creator to run both shows. Maybe they can fix a women's division. Maybe they can fix a tag team division. Things will be a whole lot better. As of right now, that I'm sticking with AEW. That's what I'm sticking with. So we get Sami Zayn was in the ring hosting his live podcast, and Zayn with the fans booing him. Zayn ripped it on Johnny Knoxville at bet that Zayn said that he will offer Sammy Vengan recipe for the people of New Orleans, which Drew Bowles, Rick Boo's previously interrupted with his guitar, and Booz was in his wrestling gear. Booz played the guitar for the entrance of the Intercontinental Champion. Shinsuke Nakamura and Gray said Pat McAfee is probably dancing on the table somewhere for the Nakamura entry. Next week on SmackDown is Nakamura versus Zayn for the IC title. So Zayn said that for over 6 weeks he has been the number one contender for the championship, and Nakamura has been ducking him. Zayn said he can't wait to see that look on Nakamura's face with Zayn beating him to reclaim his Intercontinental Champion. Zayn said that they have been working with Johnny Knoxville to disrupt Zayn. Nakamura asked if Sammy has been seeing the movie. Sammy thought he might jackass forever. So Sammy motivated, he was kicked it out of the red carpet premiere, and Nakamura said that the movie Jackass defending about saying losing Sammy repeatedly on booze for bringing a meathead with a guitar. Sammy said that Booz can't live all he would a play his guitar, so Booz told him to shut up when Booz touches the microphone. It looked like he was shocked and Booz went down. Zayn hit a hurricane kick on Nakamura, which meeting both face were down where Zayn left. Zayn is tampering. It was effectively as a 7 to give Zayn the average for once since he is made to look like a fool a lot of the times. Nakamura and Booz did touch the microphone until Booz put his hands on it, so then Zayn rigged it is so it will zap him. And Zayn hit the hurricane kicking Nakamura as a chop shot. I am looking forward to the Nakamura and Zayn match next week, even though it began taping this week. WWE actually posted spoilers on the website. I said, dude, what make you think I give a damn about Sami? I don't like Sami Zayn. WWE don't give a fuck about Sami Zayn, and he ain't keeping that title that long. He probably gonna drop it to Johnny Knoxville, and WWE don't give a damn about that guy. Don't give a damn about no Johnny Knoxville coming back to WWE, or he put out his movie called Jackass. Look, I don't watch that movie, okay? I really don't. I don't. I don't like Sami Zayn, and you got Shinsuke Nakamura. They ain't doing nothing with him on Friday Night SmackDown in that Intercontinental Championship because WWE curators they stink and they suck at their job of what they do, and they gotta come up. They gotta come to work every day and just take that stress. So a replay ad from last week on SmackDown when Drew McIntyre beat up Madcap Moss with a Claymore kick and warned Happy Corbin after Happy Corbin was backstage with Madcap Moss, who had a black eye on his right eye. Corbin motivated his match with Cesaro, then Moss, and said he going to stay in the back and get his eye checked out. Moss said maybe the doctor won't let him face Drew McIntyre at the Elimination Chamber. I mean, dude, I don't give a damn about Baron Corbin, Mad Cobb. You know I don't like that piece of shit, Baron Corbin. They would never push Baron Corbin, a top WWE superstar. They just got him as a damn joke in that gimmick, and WWE don't give a shit about him. Don't give a shit about Baron Corbin. They just don't give a shit about Baron Corbin at all. So we the much get a image was showed off a billboard in Saudi Arabia showing the Becky Lynch and Lita graphic for Elimination Chamber. They were celebrating women begin on a billboard there. Cesaro versus Corbin. Corbin was AGGRESSIV average punching, and he sent Cesaro into the turnbuckle. Corbin was a suplex applies elbow to the shoulder, followed by a chin lock. Cesaro figured out of that he was sent into the ropes, and Corbin hit the deep six slam for a 2 count. Corbin set up Cesaro on the middle rope. Cesaro figured back with a punch, and Cesaro jumped off the middle rope, leading to a superplex suplex Cesaro with a uppercut. Corbin was sent out of the ring and back in the with Cesaro hitting and uppercut Cesaro with a clothesline, sending Cesaro out of the ring. Cesaro with a running uppercut against the barricade back in the ring. Cesaro with simple, a springboard, uh, choke slam, choke screw, uppercut. Cesaro challenged into a elbow. Cesaro with a boot. Corbin with a clothesline, and Corbin hit the ends of days slam for the pin win after 4 minutes. You know what though? With Cesaro, I don't know why WWE don't want to give Cesaro a push, and then Cesaro should be the WWE Universal Championship right now. And then with Cesaro been in the company and he's 40 years, I think he's been in the company for a long time. He has been there. But why is Cesaro ain't getting a push against the Sami Zayns? Why he ain't getting a push against the McIntyres? Why he's not getting a push against the Big E, Kofi? Why he ain't getting a push against the Sheamus, Reggie Hollins? Why is Sam? I mean, it's like why is Cesaro ain't getting a push in WWE? They just look at him like a damn a clown. They just look at Cesaro like a damn clown, and like he ain't mount up to nothing. And then I mean that's it. Really don't make any damn sense because you with WWE, this company is just ooh a bunch of fucking dicks. Because a Paul Cesaro, he is so rushed it. Corbin was in control early. Cesaro was impressive in making a comeback, and then in Corbin finished him off easily. Silence. They might be doing Corbin versus McIntyre at WrestleMania, making sense to give a Claymore more wins. Cesaro Corbin celebrate the win with Cole saying that Corbin was undefeated since becoming happy last summer. I don't know if that truly, but it might be true in singles matches. Madcap Moss was showed if they in their training room was Moss training a WWE medical guy that he has badly business, so maybe he should not be clear to Ralph at the Eliminating Chamber. They trained and told him to close his eye and open his eye. When Moss opened his eye, Moose said he saw it soar because Drew McIntyre was there with him. Moss attempted to draw that his vengeance was fine. Drew said he was talking to Adam Pearce. So now the match at the Elimination is a fall countout anywhere. But Drew pointed out that means that anything goes. Drew talented him with the sword. I don't know why it needed to be filled a countouts anywhere. Maybe they have some creative finish and made Drew should win. With that though, look, I don't give a damn if Drew McIntyre win because Madcap ain't nobody. on the main roster to either must be feuding with, and Drew McIntyre should be getting shots at WWE. Look, if Drew McIntyre didn't even much get injured after that, WWE done build Drew McIntyre up ever since he beat Brock Lesnar. You beat it Seth Rollins, you beat it to AJ Styles, you beat it Seth Rollins, you beat it Randy Orton at WWE Class at SummerSlam, you beat it Randy Orton at WWE Nights of Champion, and you lost to Randy Orton at WWE Hell in a Cell. Then you build him up against Roman Reigns, and they had total house down at WWE Survivor Series. And then his cousin interfered and helped him. And then you either much had Drew McIntyre beat AJ Styles at the WWE TLC to retain his WWE champion, and Drew McIntyre ended up beat it Goldberg. And then after that, you have the Miz cashing in on him at the Elimination Chamber. He had to go through 5 people in the Elimination Chamber to defend his WWE championship. And then you mean to tell me that WWE, look, all that build up they did with Drew, and then they end up just killing it, his momentum. Because somewhere down the road though, that when WrestleMania is up with and Roman wins and beat Brock Lesnar, what is they gonna do with Roman Reigns coming up? And who is gonna be his next another challenger in line to take the belt off of him? So Bill Goldberg interviews. Bill Goldberg was sitting backstage with Michael Cole for his own sit down interview, like Roman Reigns did early. Goldberg told Cole not to take it personally and said that he loved him and like a brother. Cole, there are whisperings out there that this may be one coming back to means. Goldberg said that he's finally realized he doesn't give a damn what anybody thinks, not Cole, not Range, and no one. Goldberg said this comeback will stick in the every listener will remain. People of the old Goldberg and Cole motivate the match not happening 2 years ago. Goldberg said that he's still the same Goldberg and Roman is going to get what he's deserving. Cole said that Range will make Goldberg acknowledge him. And Goldberg said that acknowledge um Range, and as he's next vision, Goldberg said that Range will acknowledge him in the Universal Champion, and he's going to main event WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. Goldberg and his response to the Goldberg lines. Goldberg said there is only one him. It ain't going to happen. This was good. Goldberg is a lot better out that can out in remarment instead of begin in the ring doing a promo. Goldberg not a great talker, but when he sat down like that, he looked a lot more comfortable. I like the comfortable showdown by Goldberg. I think Goldberg should have motivate beating Bobby Ashley in Saudi Arabia and has his last match, but they didn't do that. If they did, motivate that it will be a very to put over Goldberg some more going into his title match with Reigns. The open 7 with Naomi slapping. Look, I'm not finna go there, man. I'm not finna go there. I already talked about that. We is not finna get back into details on that. And so next week on SmackDown, it will end up being Universal Champion Reigns and Goldberg go face to face. Also, since they Nakamura defend the Intercontinental Championship, Sami Zayn once again that a tape at the taping show that was taped after the week of SmackDown. So I don't give a fuck about all that. So and we get a SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Naomi. There were over 20 minutes left for the match. Flair ran over Naomi with a shoulder tackle. Flair went off the ropes, leading to a takedown against, but Naomi got back up with a head since Naomi sent Flair over the top to the apron. Naomi went a kick to the knock Flair down to the floor. Naomi jumped it over the top with a twister dive over Flair on the floor that lead to a break. The match continued with Flair in control as she sent Naomi into the turnbuckle. Flair by putting her boot in Naomi's face, and Naomi come back with two boots to the face, and Flair sent Naomi to the apron. Naomi with a kick, and Naomi jumped it off the top with a crossbody block for a two. Flair with a cross, a back elbow break, and a wrist lock, and Charlotte pulled it. Naomi off the middle rope for a two count. Charlotte whooping her leg around the head, leading to some knee driving into the mat. Player did something tantrum, and so Naomi bought a kick and kicked it the leg. Naomi with a jawbreaker followed by a roll up for a two. Player come back with the chop. Naomi off the ropes and player hit a chair, a um WHIRL, rear backbreaker for two. Charlotte pulls on Naomi body for a stretch. It's again the rain post, so Naomi back was stretched across the rain post. Naomi got back into the with a kick to the side of the head, and Naomi jumped it off the top with a block body neck breaker for two. The crowd thought that was if the rolling into the as a near fall. It looked like the almost messed it up because player was too close to the turnbuckle to replay. Showed that there was each room for to the floor. Naomi followed by got a hold of Naomi and whipped the Naomi hard into the steel step that lead to a break. So there was about 10 left in the show as Flair grounded Naomi with a shot. Naomi got up, Flair went to till a real breaker again, but Naomi boarded it it's a loud on top of two. Naomi hit a springboard kick to the head for two count. The fans were chanting for Naomi went for a move out the ropes. Flair avoided it, and Flair changed Naomi with a hang powerbomb for two with a Flair lock. Shocking about it, Flair stepped it on Naomi on her way to the turnbuckle. Flair took way too long in a moonsault that missing the moonsault. So Flair did the second moonsault, but Naomi got the knee up. Naomi did the rigging rear view. Flair flying ass for a two count. The fans thought that was if the was close. They had other change of the moves where it's looking like Naomi hit a full Nelson slam for a two count. That was a close as well. Naomi used her leg for a head scissor to drive Flair head into the mat. The crowd chanting, "This is awesome" for them. Naomi hit a spinning leg moves off the top for 1-2, and Flair not kicking out again. Cole, are you kidding me? Naomi was fashion about it. Furious about it. Naomi tried to cover so Flair would put her foot on the bottom rope. Naomi grabbed the hair. Flair was on the apron and dived Naomi thighs into the top rope. Naomi with a punch. Then Flair grabbed her and Naomi kicked at her in the head. Naomi went for the rear view again. Flair blocked it with a chop block, counting a Flair hit the natural selection for the pinfall win after 20 minutes. This was a great match. They got a lot of time. The fans were into a lot of more than I thought they would be. The key to Charlotte match is that so she has to sell the right way, and she did her smooth time. Charlotte doesn't sell each, but it's this case she definitely did her part to make Naomi look competent. It was having been nice to see Naomi kicked it out of the natural selection network at the end there, but I get the WWE want to keep Charlotte stronger and not having somebody kick out of her finish. I also thought Cole in giving did, I mean, Gil, Graves did a exchange or reaching to the match, well, putting over how close Naomi went to win multiple times when having seen many great matches from Charlotte. Naomi doesn't get to have a long match like that very often, but she really impressed me here, and I hope she get more chance in the future. I really hope Naomi get chance in the future too, because right now, look, WWE, we all know that Naomi wasn't gonna win that SmackDown Women's Championship because it's the booking that WWE do. Okay, they don't cap, they don't capitalize on the booking because WWE just don't capitalize on booking at all. They just really don't do that. In a post match, Sonya Deville Titan, Naomi punches her repeatedly. Charlotte Flair took. Hold up. Hold up. Sonya Deville tantrum Naomi. So Naomi punches her repeatedly. Charlotte Flair took care of Naomi with a kick. Ronda Rousey showed up for the save and she sent Flair out of the ring. Rousey tried to grab Deville was who was selling her fake arm injury, and Flair pulled it to be out of the ring. Rousey hanging Naomi in the ring while Flair and Deville were on the floor. That was the end of the show. And then it looked like tag team match at Elimination Chamber coming between Rousey and Naomi versus Flair Deville, which is fun. It makes sense basically of the story going on between the women. Yeah, because it's happening. Naomi teaming up with Rousey the versus Charlotte and Sonya. So you know Naomi and Charlotte winning that match. And then after that we go on to Charlotte and Naomi. I'm sorry, Charlotte and Ronda Rousey coming up at will be coming up at WrestleMania 38. Hold up. And then let's talk about AEW because I'm looking at this match: Hager versus Lance Archie. So, because you know that either let's talk about Shane because you know that Tony Khan. I said, why would you either much want to have Shane McMahon end up coming into your company? Look, I don't want Shane McMahon running AEW. I know he friends with him and all that. But if I'm Tony Khan, though, I don't want no McMahon running the company. Then if they, because you know everybody on TV watches AEW, either these WWE superstars, if they see Shane McMahon going over there in AEW, and then everybody say, you know what, man, and these WWE superstars probably want to jump from the WWE because they don't like the way how they being pushed it. They don't like the way how they being misused in the WWE creator. It stinks. And then you have you either much have WWE jumping ship over there to AEW. Like, dude, we don't want the company to be WWE. We don't want that. AEW, WWE superstar jumping ship. And then you already got to me, look, I would have Real Rico because when Real Rico was in NXT, he did not have to come out there a whole lot to either much make announcement. He didn't have to come out there every week like Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce do on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. He did not have to come out every week. I would trust Real Rico do. He probably would be a great GM. But everybody else, though, I wouldn't trust Pierce. I wouldn't trust Shane McMahon. I know Shane McMahon, a cool guy. I like Shane, but dude, WWE don't need his service. AEW and Tony Khan don't need his service over there. Because I'd rather bring in Tony Storm to come over there to I mean, you need women to build up that roster because you can bring in Ty Valkyrie, you can bring in Ember Moon, you can bring in Tony Storm over there, and that women's division would be a little better, but I'm not trying to say a whole lot better because them people in AEW don't hardly either much get. TV time. Because and we must see this match was in Pacific City in New Jersey. So MJF celebrate Wilder walking out of the ring with some cardboard cutout that were Instagram of MJF and choke out CM Punk and others. One that was just MJF. There was a carpet on the red to the ring. Wallow had in the ring announced Justin Roberts some card to roll Wallow don't seem trailing about is the first card to lead to the induction of Pinnacle members Dex Haywood, Cash Waller with Terry Branch and then Sean Spears with Nick Spears handed Roberts something in the fold though. Roberts read the carton of the MJF. The fans booed the martyrdom of the Long Island. They booed some of the words into the man that PG Punk in the dumpster fire known as Chicago in that lead to Maxwell Jacob Friedman making his entrance. MJF made his entrance sitting on a throne that was one platform where six ladies wrestling correct is all the way down to the ring. There were some pretty ideas at ringside, one of them kissing MJF on the cheek and MJF made out with other woman. It was MJF gifted approach MJF celebrate with his pinnacle. Guys, I thought Wallow don't join the group. MJF didn't promo saying he was the best in the world. Well, adding the him, he best CM Punk tweets in Chicago said he's better than that best in the world. MJF was a granted, which shut the fuck up chant as MJF said he was just getting started. MJF said he realized he beat up somebody he grew up watching on his TV screen. So he whipping Spears to heart room were in his ear. You suck, MJF said. They made a man that deserved a thank you with Wallow thinking it was him, but then MJF said Sean Spears warm him with fan chant for Wallow still got a nice shit made his MJF who kept on going on in here CM Punk. So CM Punk was on the stage with his music playing, and Tony Schiavone went over to give him a microphone, and Punk said that MJF winning in Chicago was about a suspectly as his spike chant. Punk talked about how those jackasses like to pick their spot and beat up one guy. So today, Punk has some friends that lead to Darby Allin and Sting show up and stand beside Punk. They all had baseballs bat. Punk said he went up a rematch or he beat it up out of MJF. Punk said he is not talking to MJF. He talked about Wallow since he was the guy that beat Punk in that match. Punk spoke about how Wallow is respondable for a lot of their wins, and Punk suggested Wallow should leave those guys. MJF claimed he beat Punk by himself. MJF said Wallow hanging around them because he is under contract with MJF and he's the best friend Dex Haywood say He is not comfortable in a shit, but he comfortable in his fight. A chair Haywood said he was begging for a rematch. Punk said that all you have to do, as Punk said, he wants a six-man tag so he can get his hands on Max again. But MJF said he is not wrestling in New Jersey, which Drew boos that MJF said if Punk can't beat LTR with any tag team partner, then Punk can't face MJF again. Haywood say MJF said that Punk can't beat Allen and Stain. And MJF told Wallow to get ready because he in line a match where MJF celebrate will continue. And then when I'm looking at MJF, like you think CM Punk is not gonna get his rematch because knowing that if he do, they are gonna tear down the house once again. That CM and CM Punk, he want his win back. But I feel like if Wallow get involved, he probably gonna turn on MJF and help CM Punk get his win back. That's what I'm like. That's what I see. Where the seeds is gonna be planted. That was really good. A promo work from everybody involved. Is smart not to just give the Punk and MJF a rematch. MJF got a lot of heat from beginning in Gold Texas, where Punk did a nice job of putting over Wallow, which is not something that MJF likes. They are clear. Building to Wallow face turn come soon. And I see that happening. I see that happening. We much got Andrade in Jose Word's interview with Sting and Dave Roy, and Andrade thought that the kid Darby working for Sting, but Sting said Darby does work for himself and he not a kid. Darby said he's better things to do than to work for Andrade, like winning that TNT title. Andrade said that they had something in common because Allen went to the TNT champion, and Darby said he be the next TNT champion. And Andrade has a hand in matches on TV since early December, so it's been over 2 months now. But maybe he got to have a match on TV soon. I know he had a few wins other than YouTube show. I just think they need to use Andrade better. I mean, they do because to me that you already see that Keith Lee is gonna be in the TNT. I expect Keith Lee to win it. If he wins, I don't have no problem as long as he get booked it better, a whole lot better in that match. Because Andrade, he probably is going to interfere and end up costing Darby Allin that TNT match, and that set up a feud between Andrade and David Boy Allen. And that's the reason why what I just had said. Because a feud come up between line at the women's revolution. So Wallow and Sean's fight versus the Blade. Blade attacked the Wallow with a chop block to the back of the knee to start the match. Blade charging right into the clothesline for Wallow. There was belly to belly releases, suplex by Wallow, and he did two more of those two belly to belly suplex after they wallowed the Dove blade back first into the post, leading to a picture in picture. Blade got a couple of knees to the face, but then he charged for a counter attack, and Wallow hit a hang power bomb that the fans were cheering for Wallow to do more. So there were a second power bomb Wallow. There were two more power bombs from Wallow for a total of four, and that was each for him to pin Blade for the pin a win after 6 minutes. So easy win by Wallow as usual. Again, most of the guys he faced the chap shot by Blade intently. The match was for a few minutes, but it was a basically just a squash. So post match, Sean Spears hit a Blade with a chair to the back. Wallow and Spears left together. So we get a video as features Pinnacle Easer Morrow with Alistair Alistair Butcher. Alistair Abrahant's Alistair Butcher Bushhant talking about how Pinnacle say the Manacon Blacks went to a live and went the Pinnacles. It looked it like Pentacles use a shade to get some out Mags to where when he faced the Black again. So we get Inner Circle. Chris Jericho music hit. It was Jericho lead the Inner Circle member Jack Kirk and the TNT champ Sammy Guevara down to the ring. No sign of Santino and Ortiz at the start of the promo. The fans singing along with Jericho theme song. Jericho say that they haven't seen Santino Ortiz all day, but through there they are coming out with their own music. Santino and Ortiz walking down to the ring, so all five guys in the group were there. So Jericho wanted to know why they refused to tag him against 2.0. And Daniel Garcia and Jericho said they embarrassing him with rob the fans that paid to see Jericho wrestle. Jericho said it was disrespectful, so he wanted to know that why they did it. Santino said this for the past 4 months. He has been struggling with this. Why adding that Jericho only cares about himself? Santino says the only fight they have has been for the betterment and achievement of one person. That Jericho and Santino say anytime they have a fight of spotlights, what happened is get shot down and through to the side of so they can come to Jericho rescue. Santino said they come out there man face to face to tell Jericho that the days of them playing second fiddle are over and done. Santino said that Jericho always stood in their way well. Then the fans are what keep them going. Santino told them that you should thank Ortiz with everything you got, because if it wasn't for Ortiz, Santino would have dropped the Jericho ass a long time ago. Hmm. Jericho said that Santino remained him. Eddie Guerrero. Jericho said that Eddie Kingston has done anything for them in AEW. Well, Jericho is the influence in the company. Jericho said that since they haven't been with him, they have been in the main event of pay-per-views, Dynamite, Rampage, and made more money they ever before. Jericho told Santino they had the chance to be AEW Tag Team Champions if they listened to Young Bucks about 1 year. Jericho said that he bought them into the inner circle. He can keep them out as well. Jericho said maybe he invite the wrong two members of the LAX to join the group. Jericho motivate Homicide and Hernandez. Well, Santino grabbed Jericho, but Sammy told him to stop. Jericho told Sammy to shut up. Sammy speak what said. He has no idea what the hell he's going on. Well, saying he loved them and they are has a family. Sammy told Chris Jericho that one of his goals is to be the greatest champion in professional wrestling that there ever be in all that Brickering is not going to happen. Sammy told all his inner circles jacket. Sammy said he quit the group because unless they can figure it out, he quit again. Sammy dropped his jacket in the ring and left with his two TNT titles. So Ortiz said first Sammy walked it away, and then what next? Ortiz and that Jericho has his back to twist. Ortiz said that all of the bickering in the ring isn't going to settle anything. Ortiz spoke about how where they come from the deal with is usually they first. Ortiz said the next week Santino Ortiz versus Jericho Hanger so they can settle the shit once and for all. Jericho said he never wanted into to come to the Jericho said that after him and Heyman smacked them around the Ortiz and Santino and are going to regret this. Jericho left with Hangman where Santino and Ortiz were in the ring. So it was other strong promo segment. So I am glad that Santino got to speak a lot because he doesn't get much promo time, but when he does, he always very good at is settled up a match for next week is fine, I think, rather than uh Spike. So SPLET spiked it up. A pro monitoring it's a possible they might realize they are better together and shake hands, hang out the next week match. Hanger really gets to wrestle, so at last he in the a match next week. Good for him. So the roping then Vice do Trent Bolton and Rocky Ramore were interviewed Tony Sabana before, but the Then the Young Bucks showed up, and Adam Cole approached for a chop attack. Young Bucks and Cole beat up the Titans, and Trent and Roman. Jay White walked it into the picture, and Ramon Trent into a production truck with facing the camera. Then he left it up, and that was it. Welcome Jay White to AEW for nearly, I believe he working for other promotions too, like Impact and others places. He's a talented guy that had a lot of success uh, in NJPW. I'm talking about New Japan. Jay White was working in that company, but it's really unknown to a lot of fans that might only which AEW or WWE they needed to in INTODUCE indicing White to fans. I think he do really well. Yeah, because to me, him would be in the ring with Keith Lee. I mean, he would get pushed by Bayface like Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Tito Ortiz, and Chris Jericho. He would be in the ring getting pushed by Christian Cage. He would be getting in the ring with get pushed by Darby Allin. He would be getting in the ring pushed by CM Punk because I mean, you just have a whole lot of baby faces to work with who Jay White can end up getting pushed either much by a Keeper Lee because Jay White just don't need to just come in and thinking he's gonna win the WWE or AEW World Heavyweight Champion. It's not gonna happen. Okay? Because I respect to see more what they're gonna do with him building up Jay White, but it's not really going to be him. He probably would get a shot at the TNT champion, but as of right now, though, let's see where Tony Khan gonna see what he have in Jay White. So the missed opportunity for Cassidy is a fame name limit that Keith Lee is a giant represent for the talent big man who just got married last week to Mia Yim. So congratulate to them. So Keith Lee versus Isaac Cassidy and Matt Hardy at Masculine. So the win of they get to be in the face of the Revolution ladder match. The fan chanted, "Oh, basically in glory for Lee Cassidy get in the face, and Lee tossed it, Cassidy across the ring. Cassidy ran the ropes. Lee did an impressive leapfrog by a crossbody block, leading to a Cassidy roll to the floor. Lee blocked it, a punch. Lee leading to a signal shot splash onto Cassidy. Lee ran right through a clothesline attack of Cassidy, leading to a Lee shoulder tackle that sent Cassidy out of the ring. Matt Hardy left it by going over the barricade through the crowd. So when Matt did there is what Jeff Hardy did in his last WWE match at a live event that clears what Matt Hardy was reforming. Jeff should be arriving in AEW next month. Okay, because look, impressive debut for Keith Lee. He probably could have 1 and 2 or 3 minutes, but they give them a bit more time because AEW does the same time and find Lee awesome and immediately one of my favorite guys in AEW. Because with Keith Lee, like I'm not saying, look, with Keith Lee, I'm glad he came in. Look, take what Triple H did with Keith Lee, with because I'm glad he got the fuck out of this company, out of AEW. Everything what Triple H did with him, right, and now Tony Khan takes Keith Lee up under his wing. He is gonna book him a whole lot of better against heels, somebody like a Matt Hardy, a Cassidy, a Sammy Guevara, or Cody Rhodes, or Andrade, against somebody like the Young Bucks who can do single matches. I mean, somebody like a Daniel, a Brian Danielson, or MJF. He can powerhouse, or a either much is Santino Ortiz or a Dave Adam, because I'm like, Keith Lee is gonna get pushed to a top AEW star in that company, because as of right now, look, people don't get fair opportunities. I mean, in the company, because look, Tony Khan just can't go on just to be signing every body. You know, he is not gonna do that. A post match, Cassidy did a double team attack, sending Lee out of the ring. Cassidy jumped onto Lee, who changed him, and Quinn went for a dive onto Lee. The Lee challenged him and give Quinn a power bomb onto Cassidy. Lee also gave a power bomb to Quinn won the apron. Lee left the Trampatron. So, so this was others why to make Lee look dominant. It's made a private party look like losers, but somebody has to get their ass kicked on Lee debut. I say, hey, dude, look at my boy here, Keith Lee. Just look at it. You see that? See, look. See, I'm letting you know this. This is gonna be a major star in AEW that Tony Khan is gonna be using Triple H. I mean Keith Lee. He is gonna be a major star in the company. Build up, watch, and we get a video air uh about Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, as Miles with Baker saying she bought in Mercedes Martinez and she paid her way back, and said that Martinez will be facing Rosa in a no disqualification match, exchanging words. They are clear building to Rosa versus Britt Baker like for the Revolution pay-per-view, but Rosa has to get through um Martinez. Look, Martinez is beating Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is beating Martinez so she can face uh Bid Breaker. That's what we getting to coming up at AEW, and she is winning that AEW World Heavyweight Champ. I'm so such a Thunder Rosa fan. This girl is a badass. She's very good in the ring and talented. She's good on the microphone. But next week we would get Martinez facing Thunder Rosa in a no disqualification match coming up next week. And we get Sammy Guevara has an entry with the title round with his waist. Sammy has an clue card that he used during the pictures in pictures break. So with FTR, the entrance with Kelly Blanche, CM Punk was finished, and then the match of his partner play is John Moxley, great choice, and a popular choice as well. They showed MJF watching the TV in a backstage area. So we either much had a match against Dax Haywood, Cash Wilder, and Kelly Blank versus CM Punk and John Moxley. So Punk started with Haywood, then Punk over wrestled him and Wallow tagging. Punk did a arm drag leading to a arm bar. Moxley tagged in against Haywood with a side headlock takedown by Haywood, who got a back up with a shoulder block. Moxley with a body slam, followed by a twist kick to the chest when Punk tagging Haywood and Wallow took turns working over Punk. Andrew left leg. They did a branch of quick tag were doing moves on the left leg. Punk avoided a Haywood attack. Dex hit the turnbuckle and Moxley tagged in against Willow. Moxley in a back body drop, then a super into a slam, and Moxley hit a German suplex, and both guys and Moxley hit a double DDT on LTR and Wallow and Gaber. Moxley attacked to prove a dive, so Punk jumped it off the ropes with a clothesline. Punk went for a dive to the floor. Then FTR guys changed him, and Moxley hit a suicide dive on the floor. They went to picture in pick break since they were all on the floor, just like when all four guys were in WWE World. They love to do the floor to commercial break sports. The match continued with Marshall on the floor as a replay showed LTR put Moxley through the table ringside. The referee, Marsbury Edwards, actually was continued Moxley out of, but Moxley go back in before the 10 count. The LTR guys did a double team move doing a carp or CHEAPULT carpet here to send Moxley into the turnbuckle. Haywood slapping on a chin lock leading to Moxley breaking free with a automatic drop followed by a belly to back suplex. Punk had to deal with Haywood on the apron, so Punk couldn't make their tag. Wallow knocking Punk off the apron to the Haywood tagging back and leading to a leg drop into a slam by Waller on Moxley for a 2 count. Haywood went up top again. Moxley moved it in. Haywood misses with a elbow drop. Moxley got back up with a clothesline leading to a Punk getting the hot tag. Punk with a jumping leg leap to the head of Haywood, then a running knee, a Punk hit a short arm clothesline on Haywood for 2. LTR went for a double knee to double team move, but Punk saw Wallow off the turnbuckle. Moxley got a hold of Haywood and put him over his shoulder. Punk jumping off the top with a doomsday dive. Defense clothesline, the Legion of Doom Royal Warrior finish with Punk getting a 2 count in Haywood. Wallow hit Marcy with a DDT on the floor. Wallow had the rain Bill Punk's slapping out of a suplex, and Wallow hit Punk with the rain bell. The referee didn't see it. Wallow hit a brain buster of Punk for 2. Genesis near fall to Wallow get the tag. Punk figure out and double team Butter Brief Fly, and the FTR hit the big red double team moves, but Marsley was there to back up a pin attempt. All 4 guys exchange punch where the imprint referee did nothing to try to get 2 guys out of the ring. Punk and Marsley went for the finish, but FTR figure out of the Moxley saw Punk from a double team attack. The Moxley did a neck choke on Wallow, and Punk did the ANACONDA accordingly vice on Wallow, who was tapping out, and the referee was looking at the other 2 guys who were not legal. Blanche hit Punk with his jacket as if they going to hunt a Punk. Hit the GSTS. Blanche Wallow got a roll up there too. Punk hit the GTS on Wallow, and Marcy hit the PARADIGM Punkadrin Chef on Haywood at the same time. Punk pinned Wallow to win the match after 19 minutes. Yeah, I enjoyed that match. So, CM Punk and John Moxley win. So, awesome tag team match right here. The reason for FTR is my favorite team is AEW because they have a great match with everybody. This was no different. Um, Obvious. The team of Punk and Moxley are very talented, so they did a nice job in the babyface team. They did multiple and Prince cartwheel sports, being a hot dog and things like that, which made it easy to get it. The numbers of furious finish towards the end was great too. I am sure LTR loved to bring in the ring with 2 talent singer guys like Punk, Marshall. I am sure that Punk and Marshall respect FTR as a team, so they cleared had fun working together in this match that won near fall after Punk was hit with the rain bell, and then at a brainbuster was perfect, a near fall. We know Punk was going to win to get other matches with MJF, but they sure made it look close a few times. I really enjoyed this match. Yeah, because I say, we went all over the place. We've been on this show about 2 hours. We have, but we done talked about Friday Night SmackDown and the elimination card update. We the much let me look at this because we've been on here 2 hours on this live, so I gotta eat. So I gotta go eat. Yeah, because we got the Viking Raiders taking on the Usos, and we got the Elimination Chamber. Bobby Asher versus Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and Austin Theory versus Riddle versus AJ Styles. We got Roman Reigns versus Bill Goldberg, Becky Lynch versus Lita, the Usos versus the Viking Raiders, Drew McIntyre versus Drew McIntyre, and we got Bianca Belair in eliminated. We got Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Doudrop, and Liv Morgan, and Nikki Ash, and we don't know who that mystery partner is. And we got Ronda Rousey versus Naomi. Ronda Rousey teaming up to take on Sonya Deville and Naomi. So that is it. So I'm out.